Flosstube, it's me, Lauren, and I'm back for another episode of Curly Q Stitches. This is my Flosstube channel where I talk about all things cross-stitch. Sometimes I talk about books in Old Hollywood, so today I definitely am. So you're going to want to stick around for the end if you're interested in either books or Old Hollywood, because I got something really cool to show you for that. But this is my cross-stitch channel. Thank you all for everyone who's been watching, commenting, and anyone that's new today, welcome. I hope you enjoy what you're watching. I'm so excited. Today is October 25th, 2025. We've got a very dreary looking gray sky out there that looks like it wants to rain, but also looks like it doesn't want to totally commit to raining. So I don't think it's going to rain. But why am I excited? Even though the sky outside is terribly dreary and totally depressing, like a Anne or Charlotte Bronte novel, because I got my Jingle Ball kit today. I'm so excited. I signed up for the Stand Up Santa by Hands On Design. This will be my second Jingle Ball class. Last year I did the Liz Matthews one, the reindeer. And so this is it's my first hands-on design for Jingle Ball. I've taken a couple of her classes for Spring Mingle, and I want to say I took another one, but I can't remember right now, and I feel terrible about that. But I am so excited, and I have to show you guys the kit. Hold on. Okay. Look at it. Isn't that adorable? It's a Santa. It's so cute. And look. That's the other side. There's his feet. It's the cutest box ever. Now, I don't want to show you everything in here because in case you're doing the class too, which if you are, that's so cool. And let me know if you are because I'm curious who else will be in the class with me. So with this kit, I want to show you one little thing that came because I thought it was like just the sweetest thing ever. Look. Floss drops. The floss came on floss drops. Isn't that sweet? I very much appreciate that because I know, so like everyone does floss drops. For some reason, my brain cannot comprehend floss drops. I don't know why. Like, I mean, I understand the concept. I get that. But I struggle with trying to figure out how to get the floss on the floss drops. And I've watched videos and I don't know, just my brain is like not computing. So when I saw this, I thought that was very sweet and very kind. And so I'm very excited. The kit came with 20 count linen. This is my first time to stitch on linen. I'm a little nervous, but I think I got this. I've just always stitched on Ada. My only experience with linen would be my step grandma. She was basically a linen stitcher. That's all she did. But her thing about linen was, what is the most complicated thing I can do that will make me look like, hey, look, I did this. So like the last thing she stitched was 56 count 1/1. And she did it. But I guess so in my head, I've just always kind of correlated linen with complicated and maybe like perfectionism a little bit. I don't know. But I'm not anxious anymore really about stitching on linen. One, like I said, it is 20 count and it is really easy to see. I was a little nervous about it not being easy to see. So easy. It's actually kind of easier to see than 18 count Ada, I'd say. And two, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos about how to stitch on linen, and there were 3 that really, really stood out to me. And just in case you're watching this, and you've never stitched on linen, or you've wondered about stitching on linen, but you're not sure how to stitch on linen, because this is 2/2. So that was a whole new concept to me. Like I heard 2/2. I just didn't know exactly what it meant. I'm going to go ahead and link the 3 that I like the most down here. I'm going to link their Flosstubes and then put in parentheses what video it is. So one was Misty from Luminous Fiber Arts, she had a really great one. Shelly from Antique Needleworkers had a really, really great one too. And then also 123 Stitch just posted one, which I was like, oh, so that one was perfect too. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop those down because I can't be the only one in the world who doesn't know about linen or how to stitch on linen. And if I am, I guess I'll call Guinness Book of World Records. I don't know. Is that still a thing, I think? Guinness Book of World Records? I remember, like, in elementary school, it was always a big thing for a Scholastic Book Fair. The book would come in. But I never had one. But let's go ahead and get started into what I've been stitching. I have 2 new starts to show you. And then I have a few whips. And then I have, like I promised for my last episode, I have some more charts that I got. And I also want to show you a couple plans that I have too. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off that I want to show you is Blueberry J by Jet X Stitch. Look at that. I finally got that started. So what's really fun is me, Callie from Callie Stitches and Steph from Wild Fox Stitchery, we all decided we wanted to start this together. And then Charlie from Stitches with Charlie was doing a Cherry Magpie stitch along with everyone. And so when we started ours, Steph came up with a really great hashtag. It's called the hashtag Fruity Birds Sal. Put that down below so you can see. And so then we asked Charlie, we said, do you want to maybe combine? And so now we're all just one big instant message group, I guess is what you call it in Instagram. And we're just all showing each other's pictures and progress. And it's just so much fun. Everyone on the Cherry Magpie side, oh my gosh, the fabrics are beautiful. But I'm going to stop talking and show you what I've started. So here we go. I am doing this on 18 count Sea Breeze. It's either Sea Foam or Sea Breeze. It's by Be Stitch Me. I need to look it up because there's a Roxy Flossco fabric that Roxy Flossco's actually doing it on, and it's the opposite of mine. I'm pretty sure mine is Sea Breeze and the Roxy color is Sea Foam. But I will double check after I am done here. Okay. Ta-da! There's what I have so far. Isn't it so pretty? Look at it. It's like a puzzle. It really is. And I'm doing all the call for colors. I love how the DMC, the yellow DMC, it's like glowing. And it's like almost like hypnotizing to stitch because you just do these patterns and it's like a puzzle. Seriously, I am a huge, huge fan of Jet X Stitch. Like she has, with like the last couple that I've been working on, the one that was the exclusive, I think, for Midsummer Stitch, and then this is the second one I'm working on. I am just obsessed. Like, seriously, she has just jumped into like my top 5 favorite designers. And she has another one coming out that she's working on. If you follow her on Instagram, it's called like 11 Rabbits. It's so pretty. She posted a sneak peek. So pretty. That's going to be so fun to stitch. But, I mean, I haven't gotten to any of, like, the fun part. I mean, all of this is fun. But, like, look at that detail with the blueberries. Like, there's, like, a bunch of different colors that you have to put in. But look at what that produces. And this this attention to detail is just crazy, and everything's like so symmetrical. It's so much fun. And I get very nervous when I'm like finishing something up. I'm like, please match, because like, for example, this here is directly under this. So it's like a mirror image, this heart and this heart. And I was like, please, please, please match. And it did. So, and like when I was doing this one, I got worried too, but, I just love it. It's just so much fun. Here, I'll do this. There. Try to do that. Here. Okay. So that has been really fun to stitch. And then the other start that I started was actually hands-on design. It was Jack-o'-lantern Junction Farm. And I am doing this on, I think it's, I know the names. It's 16 count. I think it's Tangled Thistlewood. If I got that wrong, I will put a correction down below. But it's by Forbidden Fiber Arts. When I saw this fabric, I knew it would be just perfect for the Jack-o'-lantern Junction Farm. So here it is. And it's actually a very quick stitch. But in no way am I going to have this done by Halloween. Just not going to happen. I've been too distracted by other patterns. I'm just not going to bother with the board on this one. So this is what I have so far. Here's the fabric. Isn't that fabric just so cool? It's purple with teal. And I think this was released in the Needlework Marketplace. But look at that. So that's what I have. Now, since I'm not doing this on black, I had to do a few little moderations. So, for example, you'll see here, the pumpkins aren't fully filled in. If I don't fully fill in the pumpkins, I think it's going to look weird because I'm not using black. And same for the house. I'm going to have to fully fill that in, at least in the roof part, because if I don't, it's going to look like they've got holes in the house. And then also in the bottom part of the house too, on the sides where the brick is. So it's a little bit of modification. But it is really quick to stitch up. I was kind of surprised. And when I was looking at the pattern too, I was like, oh, there's really not. Once I get a little bit down on the left-hand side, I'm done with that border and I'm ready to start the fence. And I'm going to do all the called for colors except on the fence. I'm going to change it to a purple instead of a white. I am going to use lavender by Cottage Garden Threads. So I have that here. I can show you. That's what I'm going to do for the fence. And then that's the end of my starts. So I'm going to show you a few whips. So, Winter Moon by Plum Street Samplers. We need to talk about the roof. So, I'm not kidding you. It felt like a million years stitching the roof because it was all this black. And what's even more annoying is, you know how like when you wear black clothes and it makes you look slimming? Apparently that same concept holds true for cross stitch. It makes your cross stitch look slimming when you have a big black area. Because it doesn't look... There, let me get the chart up real quick. Here's the chart. Winter moon. And this is what I have. And that roof, once I started stitching it and I got more and more of it in, I'm like, it doesn't look like I'm putting a lot in. So then I started counting and I got up to like 1,700, just like in here. And by the time I hit 1,700 stitches, I just gave up. And I wasn't counting like each single one. I was counting on the chart, but I just gave up. Not because I can't count higher than 1,700, because I can, but because I just lost my place and I didn't want to start over. So that is what I have so far. And it took me 12 million years to stitch. No, not really. But it sure felt like it. Okay, I've already used one whole skein of mascara. That's the called for black. I've used, it's all in the roof, and then a little bit up here, and one line here. And I'm on the second skein already, because when I had like 2.5 rows left, I had to start the second skein. So it's a lot. I'm going to be very, very happy when it's all done because it'll look pretty. And next, in the same vein of Plum Street, I'm going to tell you a story about Goody Grimrod. I still don't know how I did it, but I'll tell you the story. Even though it's going to make me look like a total idiot, but that's okay. But I will show you what I did. So, Goody Grimrod. Okay. Do you see how on the moon, it looks pretty light on the white part? And when I stitched it, and I was doing the middle part, the darker part of the moon, I was like, man, mine doesn't look as light on the white side. I wonder why. Oh well, maybe it's probably just dye lots. So, I stitch away. And I keep stitching away. And I still have a thread. No, the thread's behind it. That's good. You can tell I put it in a timeout, even though it was totally my fault. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. This is on 18 Count Lunar by Forbidden Fiber. I'll tell you what I did. You see this part, this darker part right in here? That's not what was there before. That whole darker part was B5200 DMC. Because yours truly somehow saw the symbol that was supposed to go inside here and somehow saw the word B5200, even though clearly the B5200 is a square, and inside the moon is a circle, not a square, a circle. You would think I would know the difference between circles and squares, but apparently I do not, because I stitched it all with B52 inside. And then I go, oh, no wonder mine doesn't look so bright on the right side, because anything next to B52 is going to look it's going to look darker, because B52 is like a spotlight. So I had two choices. Well, three. One was I could totally cry, which I very almost just went with that one, because I'm like, I'm just gonna break down in hysterics here. Option two was go ahead and keep going with the B52, and we're just gonna have a white moon in the center, and that's what it is. Or three, frog it and start over. Well, you clearly can tell what option I chose. I frogged it. I was so mad when I frogged it. I was mad at myself. And I'm like, I have no clue how I did this. And it took me like 2 hours to defrog it all. Is defrog a word? It is now. Well, no, because you're frogging, so you're not defrogging. So no, you're just, never mind, defrog is not a word. Okay, anyways. It took me 2 hours to frog it. And then I went and I put it all back, and I'm back where I was before. And I just haven't touched it in a very long time, because like I said, I was annoyed. I was annoyed at myself. So I put this in a timeout, because cross stitch patterns can go into timeouts. I've officially decided that. Oh, from velvet to linen. I was sitting here going, what else do I have to show you? I think I have more. From velvet to linen, duh. Okay. Here is my 100% total color conversion of From Velvet to Linen by Kathy Barrick. I'm doing this on 18 count Horseshoe Bay by Barefoot Needle Arts. Got a lot more in, actually, in just a couple days of stitching on it. I'm trying to now, what I've been trying to do is stitch on something for at least 3 days, sometimes maybe just 2 days in a row. Because I've found that I can actually, if I keep stitching on something repeatedly, I actually make progress. And it can almost be complete. And this is almost complete. I am very excited. So here we are. So since last, I got this leaf totally in. I got these flowers totally in. I think the vase doesn't look see-through as much. Now that I have all the leaves around it, the flowers, it doesn't look see-through anymore, so I'm happy. The pink's not blending in. What I did with the flowers on here, the outline is Seashelly by Classic Colorworks. No, I'm sorry. The outline is actually, let me get it out. I know this is, I have way too much on here. It's a Roxy Floss Co. There we go. Clever Clover is the outline. Then I took the butterfly, the color from the butterfly, which is, I think it's Sweet Pea. Is what it's called. Yes, Sweet Pea. And then I also did Classic Colorworks Rainy Day and Classic Colorworks Sea Shelly. I don't know if, so out of all of them, I think I've already used all those colors before, except possibly I haven't used Sea Shelly yet. I need to look back on my Instagram and see, because I've been documenting all the colors I've been using on that. So Sea Shelly might be a new addition, but I'll show it to you again. So I thought it was kind of cool to have, you know, the color from the butterfly pop up again in those flowers over there. And I hadn't stitched on this for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And I know in my last Flosstube, I had no clue what the flowers were going to be. And I think taking away stepping away like 2 to 3 weeks really helped. Because when I looked at it again, I was like, oh, I could do this. I could do that. So taking some time away from it, I think helped me be able to be more creative about it. But that's just what I've done so far. I haven't worked on this guy in forever, and I've been bringing him out a little by little because I miss stitching on him, and you will see what I mean. Here is Percy Penguin by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. And I am doing this on 18 count Celestine by Fiber on a Whim. And I did change up a little bit of his colors. So like, for example, the flowers in here, his little flower tattoos. I used Weeks Dye Works Romance. I also used Peacoat Weeks Dye Works for his hat. He's just really fun to stitch. And hopefully I'll have him done by Christmas. I want to start stitching on him more. And that concludes my whips. So now I will share with you some charts that I got recently. Part 2 of what I've shown you last month. And some plans that I have. I'm really excited. I got Blue Velvet by Jan Hicks Creates. It's called Halloween Pretties by Tiny Modernist. And you get 8 of them. Isn't that ghost really cute? This is Tiny Modernist. I got Plum Street Samplers, A Ghoul Tide Welcome. I think I talked about this one before, but I don't know if I ever actually showed it. Maybe one day I'll start that. I was trying, so it uses mostly MPIs. And when I was doing the DMC conversion, and some of them, they require like 3 to 4 skeins as suggested. So when I was doing the DMC conversion of the MPIs, I didn't really like the colors as much. So I think that one I might have to do a color conversion on that. We'll have to see. Okay. This is Among the Petals by Blueberry Ridge. And it says, among the petals and the weeds, a bit of wonder always grows. I like that. Then I have a couple from Stitches by Ethel. This is Christmas Moon. And then this is the other one by Stitches by Ethel. Chicken and Waffles. Isn't that cute? The little donkey's helping the chicken put the bells on. I just think that's adorable. That's so cute. And that's all I have for recent patterns. But I have some plans. So one of the things I'm going to start, I've talked about this before, Winter Rose Manor by With Thy Needle. I'm going to do it on 16 count oyster shell by Fox and Rabbit. I think that'll be pretty. I can't wait to start that. I have all the floss already. I bought it, and now I found this in my stash. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm excited. Next month in November, Steph from Wild Fox Stitchery, she's hosting for her birthday month a Sal of Marabella, and it's called the First Fancy Lady Sal. And this will be my first Fancy Lady. I am doing Pretty to Think So. I'm going to do it on, I think, Wild Bouquet by Bestitch Me. I don't have the fabric with me right now. It's in another room. But I'm going to go ahead and do it on that. I was going to do it on Carnival Cruise by Seraphim. But I think Wild Bouquet might be more perfect for it. And then Leonie from Cozy X Stitch, we were going to start Little House Kringles together. So I'm really excited for that. Still have to get the floss. And I don't know what fabric I want to do it on either. So I'm waiting for that. And then let's see what else I have. Oh, I have an advent calendar coming from Colorado Cross Stitcher. I guess it's not really advent calendar, it's an advent box. I've never done that before. It's shipping in November. I'm really excited for that. Hobby House Needleworks did one too. I broke down and I got that. It's a year of firsts for me with cross stitch. So I'm really excited. And what I'll do is I'm going to be good. I'm going to open it once every day in December. I'm not going to just do it all at once. Because as much as I would like to, as much as I know I want to just open it and see what's there, after you open it all, then it's like, okay, now what? So if I practice restraint, it'll be okay. But that's about it for cross stitch. Next month, I can't believe it, will be 1 year that I started my Flosstube. So thank you all to everyone who's subscribed and who has liked and everything, commented. It really means a lot. I think what I'll do next month for my Flosstube, I'll do a Year the End whip parade. Because I think it'll be fun to see, you know, all the whips that I've started between last November and now. And hopefully I can keep count, because I'm going to try to do a tally and count and see how many I got going on. And if I get my starts in, I will include them into the whip, because technically they are a whip, just with a hint of a start. So go ahead and get that done. So I'm really excited to do that. Gosh. Oh, and before I forget, my books in Old Hollywood. So if you're not interested in books in Old Hollywood, that's totally fine. I will talk to you guys later. But if you are, stick around and I will show you some really cool things. So hold on. So this just came out, I think a couple weeks ago maybe. Dear Marilyn, The Unseen Letters and Pictures. It is so cool. It's Sam Shaw. He took a lot of her photos. He and Milton Green were a couple of the main photographers. But he was with her for like the 7-year itch, so there's a lot of backstage photos. Like the photos, most of the photos are as big as this book. Like some are like half pages and maybe quarter pages, but it's just so cool and the quality is really great. And you see like the little letters that they wrote. And there's like a candid one where she's on the phone talking to Arthur Miller and she doesn't know she's being photographed. But yeah, isn't that? It's bigger than my head. And that says a lot because with my curls, my head can get pretty big. Mm-hmm. Well, that makes me sound egotistical. No, it does. Okay. My head, never mind. Okay. So, you know what I mean. Anyways, isn't that cool? That's so cool. And then on the fiction side, I did want to talk about this series I've been reading. It's called The Maid. And this is the third in the book. This one's called The Maid's Secret. It's by Nita Prose. And that is a pen name because I looked it up because I'm like, really? If that can't be that, but it's a pen name. And so it's really, really good. It's written in first person. And it's about this girl who's a maid. It took me a while to figure out if it was set in Canada or New York. And I finally figured out, I think it's set in Canada. But it's really, really good. Like I said, this is the third in the series. There's also a novella that comes in between the second and the third. But you don't really need, like, if you really, really, really love it, love the series and stuff, then yeah. But it's like only 100 pages. But I bought the novella and I didn't get a chance to read it. But everything that, because even though I didn't read it, I can still understand what's going on in the third book. So it's a really, really good book if you're interested in a mystery. But yeah, other than that, that's it for today. I hope you guys have a really, really great week. You get the treats, not the tricks on Halloween. And I hope you guys have a wonderful month because I'll talk to you again in 3 or 4 weeks. So bye, guys.